Hello and welcome back to episode 31 of our Eternal Sonata playthrough. We're really into the end game now, so we're gonna get right into it. The last episode we did 2 boss fights with 2 little Frederick moments, and now we're gonna head to the next one. So after the third boss fight, the first boss fight on the East Tower, you're gonna head back down to the 3rd floor. If you have deja vu, it's because we did this in the last episode with the last tower. So let's get right into it.
Come on, let's go! Show me what you've got! Dragon, go! Chew on that! Take that! By lightning and thunder will you be thrown. By wind will you be scattered. Heaven and earth. Howling thunder! Knife it! Chew on that!
See the afterlife?
That was a good fight.
Haha! All right!
I believe in the last episode we had to walk around to get to that ramp. So we're gonna walk around again and take this ramp down, not the first ramp down. We're basically following our footsteps from the last episode. And I'm gonna try not to fight too many enemies on our way back down. Alright, so we're back down to the 3rd floor. So let's walk around the side of the room and save your game at the save point halfway through. Not quite sure what that means, but we're gonna try and make it work. There's the save point. And there's the way up to the 4th floor from here. So we're gonna take this ramp up. Once we get to the 4th floor, we're gonna walk to the end of the hall and open this chest, and then we're gonna head up that ramp there. That's Daybreak Cloak. I'm gonna fight this guy so we can get a little bit of leveling before we get to the next boss.
Watch the light of the countless stars in the night sky. Starlight blast! Fire wave!
The sun
Alright, so we're heading up to the, I believe this will be the 5th floor from here. Alright, there's nothing on this side of the floor, so we're going to take the ramp up to the 6th floor. And you can already see the other ramps that we're going to head down over there. I'm going to fight this monster first. But we're heading to that ramp that you can see in the background.
Has a little extra spark in its cutting edge. Starlight Blast! Fire Wave!
Thunder will you be thrown? By wind will you be scattered? Heaven and earth. Howling thunder! Night fist! Chew on that!
Void Edge! See the afterlife?
Howling thunder! That was a good fight.
Alright, so we're going to head down this ramp to the, whatever, 5th floor again. And there's a chest here that we're going to grab. So we're going to fight this monster. I'm going to try and walk up behind him after I grab the chest. For a Lech Blade, which is for Algreta, let's see if it's good enough for him. And it is. So we'll equip it and then fight this dude and head back up to the 6th floor.
I'm not going to let you get in our way. The sun follows the clouds. The wind makes the waters roar. Iris of heaven. Dragon Ball Shadow Beam. This is the power of man. Heal arrow. Bullseye. By lightning and thunder will you be thrown. By wind will you be scattered. Heaven and earth. Howling thunder. Night fist. Chew on that. Take that.
Starlight Blast! What did you expect?
Alright, so we're heading back up to the next floor. I think it's the 6th floor. And then we're gonna walk up the ramp that goes up to the 7th floor. And you know what the 7th floor means. Means it's time for a boss fight. So let's switch up our battle party. Let's keep Viola in. We'll put March in lieu of Falsetto, and then put Salsa in, and we'll make it like a fun little party. I'm not using Beat anymore because while his attacks are very cool, he just doesn't do as much damage as everybody else. So I'm kind of focusing on people that I might actually want to put in our final boss party, but we'll see. So that's why I'm not using Beat or Frederick. Let's see. It's our little dragon from the very beginning of the game.
Don't be such a crybaby.
So like usual, we're gonna use Salsa and Marth as our main attackers. and keep Viola on the back end.
In my hands, the moon becomes a mirror. Its light becomes a piercing flame. Luna scream! Supernova! Solar flare! You finally catching on? That's better. All right. In music, you're presented with a variety of sounds and expressions over time. It's an art where you enjoy an arrangement of time that changes from moment to moment. In contrast to that, a painting always stays the same, even after thousands of years. But then the world and the feelings drawn on that canvas can be shared by people in the past and in the future. If those two art forms were to be combined, I think that even God would be able to appreciate the resulting creation.
An art form that would be appreciated by God?
Yes. Imagine a music that could make us feel space and dimension. And pictures that would make us feel time and experience motion. Whatever kind of art it is, you would need to use more than one of your senses to understand it. It's more important to feel it with your heart. But let me ask you, does that idea really apply only to the arts?
What?
Maybe there's something else that's even closer to us. Something that can only be understood by feeling it with our hearts.
Alright, so this tower too is now filling with sand. So we're gonna head to the bottom floor and we're about to do something pretty significant. So I am going to switch up our battle party to who I want to do the final boss with. We're not quite there yet. We've got one more chapter in the game to go, but let's prep a little bit. So I definitely want Falsetto. As you know, she is my favorite. Viola, and we're gonna put Polka in. We're gonna switch Polka to an attack-based set. So we're switching out Earth Heal. We got Blossom Shower. I'm putting that on the back burner. Let's put... We're gonna do Disruption Wave. And we're gonna put Terra Externa instead of Zodiac, but we're gonna put Zodiac on the back burner. So Polka, fantastic attacker at this point in the game. Like, if you're not using her, I'm gonna judge you a little bit. Anyways, so I think, let me see how we backtrack this. Alright, so we're gonna go to the other side of the ring. And we're heading back down to the 5th floor. Our goal is to get to the bottom of the tower. Let's head down to the 4th floor. And I think we want to go this way. No, okay, so we're just going back down. Now we're on the 3rd floor, so we're gonna head back around the ring to the other side of the floor. Okay, so we're heading down here, I think, to the second floor. And then we want to make our way down to the first floor, which is the other way. A little bit more turned around on this tower than I am on the other one. So we're gonna head down to the first floor from here. And now that we're on the first floor of the tower, we are going to head down the south ramp to the tower base. So this is the base of the tower. And we've got a giant staircase here. Of course, we're gonna head up it. This is what we needed that sand for. And now we've got a platform here, I guess, with a teleporter. So we want to use it to go to the top floor. Here's Hourglass Road. We're gonna save here. Alright, so there's a tough fight ahead. Just brace yourself for it. This boss has a lot of health. So, right away, I'm going to advise you to use either Falsetto, Jazz, or Allegretto as your main attacker. They're going to do the most damage. I'd also rec Polka too, because Polka's just the goat. We've got a lot of goats in this one. So there's Legato, or the Ruined Body. He's the right-hand man of Waltz, who drank that little potion.
Okay, you're all ready for this, right? Let's go!
Let's go! Show me what you've got!
Alright, so we're ready for this very, very hard fight. So again, I would focus on using Falsetto and Polka as your melee offenders, and have Viola in the back to heal and attack when needed. We're going to take a lot of damage during this fight, so I'd recommend having more clovers than I do right now in your item set, just in case you need the top off. I do rec Viola for this fight because of her long-range healing that heals the whole group, but other than that, again, you just want people who are going to do the most damage to this guy. So let's get right into this battle.
By lightning and thunder will Not bad. All right.
So we beat Legato. Kind of anticlimactic, don't you think? Anyways, so yeah. We're gonna put Allegretto in instead of Falsetto. Love Falsetto so much. She's gonna tap out for this one. So let's put Polka in Viola space and then add Jazz to the mix. We're gonna equip Allegretto with Velmung. Let's pretend like I pronounced that correctly. Velmung z Lust. I wish I could speak English. We're gonna put Tyrant Slayer on Jazz. And Polka's got Teardrop. So there's a save here. Clearly very important stuff is gonna happen. Okay, so this item, Hero's Crest, is going to give you access to that dungeon in the sand dunes, which means you have to go out of the dungeon to do it. So we're going to save that for our second playthrough of this game when we eventually get there. I'm not going to do a second playthrough right away, but eventually we will do that. It's pretty fun. It's very hard. So let's get into the final part of this game, shall we?
Huh? Wait, Frederick!
Hey, where are you going?
When a man's consciousness is fading away, he will find, without fail, that he comes face to face with his own soul and must challenge it. It is the one moment when we are able to look directly upon our naked selves. I no longer have any doubt in my mind that, for me, that time has now come. Don't you all understand? You're nothing more than fictional characters that I've created in my mind!
Frederick! What are you doing?
When I am defeated in this battle, a truth will be born in this world, and a fleeting dream will transform, slowly filling with color. And only when this ordeal is finally overcome, will my soul at last be allowed to leave my physical body. Then let us test it! Whether whether my spirit can become a lance, capable of piercing through every one of you. We'll see if I'm truly such a weak human being. This entire world is my dream. I will not let you destroy it!
Is that your magic?
What a surprise. Are you surprised? It's crazy. Anyways, so we've got Jazz and Algretto, who we're going to try and take most of the damage on. They've got a lot more health than Polka, and we need Polka to heal. Remember, her only heal is on the back burner, which is okay. It's a good heal. And when we need her to attack, we will. But if you can keep her at a distance from Frederick, that's going to be good. Because if we're all close together, he's going to multi-hit us. He's got higher health than Legato. He's got higher attack than Legato. And he's got higher defense. So make sure you're prepared for this. This is the final fight in the game and in this playthrough. So let's see what he has to offer.
Okay.
How pitiful. You
Floated drift at the boundaries of nothingness.
Void Edge! Bloody Blow!
no good. Applaudissement Sonic! How pitiful. You soulless creature. Applaudissement Sonic! How pitiful. You soulless
Watch the light of the countless stars in the night sky. Starlight Blast! Fire Wave!
Nimbo Stratos! You foolish
Okay.
Orzel Bialy! How pitiful. You soulless creatures. Nimbo Stratos! No good. You foolish creature. Raven Blast! Heat Glare! Selbiali! How pitiful.
Dust on the ground.
Starlight Blast! Did your stomach drop?
Nimbus Stratos! You foolish creatures! Applaudissements soniques!
Fire Wave! Not bad.
Or Selbiali! How pitiful.
Raven Blast! Heat Paladin!
Game clear data. You can save the game clear data here. If you load the game clear data, you can start the game from the status. View the ending, start new game. So that's kind of that. You can't restart the game from the last save point. But we beat the game, so let's strap in for the ending.
I was not able to defeat you. After all, I'm glad.
Polka?
Stay back. Allegretto, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you about this before. I couldn't tell you. I didn't think you'd take me here if I'd explain why I wanted to come. You see, I remembered. I now know the path that I have to take.
The sea. You will jump into the sea.
Oh, Mom, I can finally see what your kindness was always hiding from me. Mom, you were the one who blurred all my memories, weren't you? No. The reason I couldn't remember was because I didn't want to worry you, Mom.
I guess I was subconsciously hiding them away inside myself, behind the dark clouds that hung over my own feelings.
It is your fate to go into the sea.
Yes, my fate is to go into the sea. We lived our lives looking away from what was too difficult to face. We ignored everything hurtful and only saw what we chose to see. The world we created and nurtured in our hearts became increasingly real over time. Eventually, it became so real that it clouded our eyes and hid the small truths that were all around us. Just like the shining of the stars is blotted out by the glare of the city lights. And to think it was part of my own memories. Mom, you watched over me all this time, making sure I didn't go down the wrong path. But after I left home, after I left you, I realized something. I realized that all this time you were guiding me down the wrong path. Because of your love for me as your daughter. I'm grateful, Mom. But still, you have to realize one day that water doesn't necessarily always flow downhill. It can sometimes become a high tide and surge up into the past, pushing a small stone upstream. This is the right path for me, and at the end of it, there lies a fate I cannot escape. The time has come for everything to be settled. It's my destiny, maybe even my purpose. No, it's nothing as passive as that. It's something I have to decide for myself, all on my own, right now!
Polka, wait!
It's okay. There's a place out there where I'm needed. A place that I have to illuminate, with the shining light of the Astra that lies sleeping within my heart.
Don't do it!
I must do this. And it's for the person who means the most to me. My life is nothing compared to his. Doing this is easy if it's for him.
Polka! Ah! Why couldn't I do anything? What should I have done for her? Does this mean that dying was the only thing Polka could do? There wasn't any way we could save her? Why did Polka have to suffer? What did she ever do to deserve that? What is wrong with this world? Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! you! You come barging into our world without asking, and now you leave just because you feel like it! This is your dream, right? If it's a dream, then why don't you do something? Please. You have to do something.
A dream. Is this really a dream?
Thank you, everyone. I know it didn't last very long, but really, this was the best time I've ever had in my life. If I blow him a kiss, I wonder, will it reach him up there? I hope so. I really do.
Can human beings who create waves of ugly desire ever become like the seawater that's stirred by the beauty of the moon?
No one wants to touch someone like me. Someone who can use magic. After all, they might get sick too.
Well, of course the bread you're eating is much more important than the bread of a stranger. Huh? Wait. How is it any different?
All around us, the world is fading at an incredibly rapid rate. And yet, you say you aren't able to see it. Well, perhaps there's a reason for that. Perhaps you can't see it because you are fading away even faster than the world.
If you're conscious of the fact that you're having a dream, and you can actually say that this is just a dream, then can you really be sure that it's a dream at all?
Can a picture taken through a bent piece of glass called a lens really accurately reflect what happens at a single moment in time? It seems to me that your eyes would have to be pretty bent themselves for that to be possible.
Something that people think is useful but can actually be harmful in the long run? Well, the only thing I can think of right now is mineral powder. But I'm sure there are lots of other things out there. Maybe if you think about it for a while, you can come up with some things that I don't know about.
I think that everyone knows deep down that some things that might seem useful to us right now could actually be hiding a danger to the future. And yet there are many people out there who simply refuse to accept that. Are people really so foolish that they aren't willing to sacrifice those little conveniences for the sake of the future?
If people are too deeply involved in a problem, is it really not possible for them to realize what's wrong until it's too late to do anything about it?
The standards for justice in this world are decided amidst the driving ambitions and turbulent emotions of a small handful of people who just happen to possess the greatest influence. Well, you certainly have been born into a difficult era.
A lifetime to build, a moment to destroy. Will human beings ever become masters of creation, or are we only destined for destruction?
I was acting out a part up until the moment I died. Do you plan to spend your whole life pretending to be someone you're not?
Are you sure you know the difference between things that can be forgotten right away, like letters written in the sand, and really important things that must never be forgotten, like words carved into stone. It's an important distinction to make.
Without realizing it, people tend to act in ways that suit their own best interests, and before they know it, they've turned all their efforts to seeing just how powerful or successful they can become. It can't always have been like that. Things must have been different in the beginning. Try to remember the feelings you had when you first started out.
Can't we make better use of the energy we spend maintaining our feelings of mistrust? There must be a way. If we could all do that somehow, I think it would make it much easier to live a life filled with light.
When I realized that I had no hope of beating Claves, I ran away. What about you? Are you like me? Do you run away from situations where you know you can't win too?
The view of Retardando is so beautiful at night. But which part of that view is the most beautiful thing about it? The flickering of the city lights below? Or the twinkling of the stars in the night sky above?
As the leader of Baroque, I am responsible for making the people of my country suffer under the fear of impending war. The citizens of Baroque are innocent people, whose only crime is living in the kingdom I rule. And there are others in this world who suffer similar misfortune. Remember to be very grateful if you are lucky enough to happen to live in a country at peace.
I believe that the future holds infinite hope for all of us. So no matter what the odds, however slim the chance, I always try to hold on to that hope. I would never want to give up on something without at least trying. What about you? What would you have done in my place? Would you still draw a fortune if you already knew what it was going to say?
Suppose you could not be sure whether or not there was any ground behind you. Knowing that, would you still have the courage to take a step backward? At certain times in life, does it not take much more courage to take a step back than to take a step forward? Would you be courageous enough to do it?
If you live with your eyes closed to whatever is difficult to face, does that mean those things don't exist?
People with brightly glowing astras always have to suffer in the end. Is the place where you are a miserable world like that? Don't you want to change it? You can't just sit back and accept a destiny of death. You have to fight back, resist. You have to try as hard as you can. After all, that's what life's all about, isn't it?
You can give up when it's really, truly, absolutely the very end. Until then, you gotta try and do whatever you can. I guarantee that you still have time.
That's right, you still have time.
Absolutely. Now is when it really begins. Just take a moment to steady yourself. I know what it feels like to have a future filled with doubt. To feel overwhelmed. To think it's all over. To want to give up on everything. But there's no use just thinking about it. You can't hesitate. You need to act upon it. Since in the end, all you can do is try as hard as you can.
You don't have to rush. There's still time. You have infinite potential after all. I promise you, even now, you can still do it. All you have to do is the very best you can. I guarantee you still have time.
Death is a reality that is far too real. I've walked this dreamlike journey within a dream, so that once and for all, I could accept that. And now, at this moment, all things shall reach their finale!
Mr. Chopin's time of death, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mommy, why are there waves in the sea?
Well, darling, there are waves because of the moon.
Because of the moon?
That's right. The moon charms the water in the ocean with its beauty. And because the moon is so beautiful, the seawater just can't sit still.
Is that true? Really?
Really? Don't you feel your heart start fluttering inside of you when you look at the moon?
I do! What about the puddle? Will it make waves when the moon comes out too?
No, dear. There's not enough water. You need lots and lots of water, like the ocean, before it can make any real waves.
Oh, I see. But that's weird. Why can't a little bit of water make waves too?
I won't let you die, Polka. After all, you've only been alive for 14 years. A 14-year-old girl must live her life.
The amount of water is the most important part of creating waves. That can be said about people as well. There are many things in this world that can charm people's hearts, just like the moon charms the sea. Things like wealth, vanity, status, image and power.
When the sun is
People
out,
are drawn to these
they
things,
hide in their
create
buds
waves,
and then open their blossoms only when it is
makes the
truly
waves grow
important,
bigger and stronger.
drawing in even the faintest amount of light.
The
They
more
decisively
people there
embody
are,
it,
the bigger
and in
the
doing
wave
so
can
reflect
become.
something that people can never
As
see.
the number of people grows,
They
the
wait
waves
for the
grow
moment when the
bigger
world
and
is
bigger.
trapped in darkness, and then
And
blossom
that
with
can
glowing
lead to
light.
Terrible conflicts.
On the grassy plain, they paint a picture of the star-filled night
This is
sky that
probably
was
too hard
blotted
for you
out
to
by the city
understand.
lights.
I guess.
Isn't it pitch black around you? Isn't the world covered in darkness?
But if something like that
Now,
ever were to happen
come.
during your life,
It's
your
2
only
o'clock in the
choice
morning.
might be to jump into that sea.
The time for you to blossom has come.
Because when you do, those big waves will calm down.
Do you remember?
It may be
You said it
difficult
was
at
up to
times,
me
but
whether
if
I
you
wanted to
try
call
your
them
best,
Heaven's Mirror
You'll bring joy to
or
the
Death
person
Lights.
who means the most to you.
Really?
I'm still allowed to choose, am I not?
Okay!
Well, then I shall make my definitive choice. Right now.
But it's insulting to compare
That flower
stars
that so
to the
resembles you.
of the moon, to the ugly
That
waves
flower that
desire.
boldly challenges the darkness. I choose to call it Heaven's Mirror.
Oh, Mommy, I'm sorry, but I think someone's calling me.
I see. Then you must have met the person who is the perfect match for your Astra. Well, he's the person that you choose to believe in, so I'm sure he must be wonderful. I did so want to see you on your wedding day. But now, I suppose the only thing I can do for you is to tell you this. Come back someday and do your best.
Okay, Mommy. I'll see you later then.
Have I been able to become more like the seawater that is stirred by the beauty of the moon? Thank you, Polka dear. Please, be happy.
It's Polka. She's glowing.
Polka!
But that's gonna end Eternal Sonata for us. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this series. Stay tuned for the next one. If you enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to know what's coming next. I will say as like a side note that if you don't think this game was political, we did not play or watch the same game. But it's got a strong message that's really important, a message about global unity, a global civilization, how harmful rhetoric can be, blind rhetoric, because Walt was trying to sell product to his people that was harming them. And the metaphor is rhetoric, like hateful rhetoric, will harm you in the end. So be yourself, be an individual, and the people who matter will love you for that, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. And that's what I'm going to sign off with. Thanks a bunch. See you next time. Bye!